What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is me, Costa. Wow, it's been a long time. It's been a while. There's a bug in my office. So, life update. I quit my job about a week and a half ago, and I feel fantastic. I'm turn off my fan so that it doesn't get loud in here. Yeah, I quit my job. I was working at the Jellyfish for 3 years. There was tons of issues going on at the restaurant, and that's every restaurant you go to. It's the same shit, but different toilet. And I got fed up with working 65 to 70 hours a week, and I got burnt out, and I had to quit. I had to leave. It was toxic. I had no life outside of work. We were severely short-staffed, and I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. I was miserable. I never got to see my fiance. Oh, and I got engaged. That's a cool thing. But yeah, I never got to spend time with my fiance. Ended up, after I quit, I made her dinner for like the entire week. It was awesome. It was amazing. And to be honest, I was a little worried because I have a wedding to pay for. I have bills coming up. Bought the Lexus about a year ago. But, you know, I have a little bit of money saved up, and I'm just going to relax for a little bit. And then I'm going to get back into it. I'll let you know where I end up. Anyways, I wanted to talk about in this video, is it worth being a chef in 2022, 2023? I've been in the restaurant game for over 15 years. I started when I was 15 years old and started washing dishes at a Chinese buffet. I'm pretty sure you guys remember that video. I've been a chef for 12 years. For the first 10 years of me being a chef, everything seemed fine. It was almost as if it was hard to find a job. Everywhere was fully staffed. Every time I would go to apply, they say, sorry, we're not hiring, but we're hiring for another position if you're interested. But they were never chef positions. And I remember specifically one time I went to apply for a sushi chef position. They didn't have any availability, but they were like, hey, we'll take you on as a server. And I was like, okay, maybe that's fine. It'll get my foot in the door. But I knew I didn't want to be a server. So I showed up for the interview, and I remember waiting for the owner to show up, but I told the hostess, I said, hey, I'm really sorry, but when she comes out, can you please tell her I'm not interested in being a server, I'm interested in being a sushi chef. They ended up calling me like a week later and saying, hey, do you still want to be a sushi chef? Because one of our guys is quitting, and I ended up landing the job. But things are much different now. Nowadays, it seems like nobody wants to work. Everyone is saying there's no good cooks out there, and that's not entirely true. People will put up hiring signs, there are ads on Indeed, Facebook, Glassdoor, Instagram, everything and anything, but no bites. So why is that? There are so many easier jobs out there compared to being a chef. There are jobs out there where you can work remotely and work from home. There are plenty of delivery service. You have Uber Eats, you have DoorDash, Instacart, Amazon, all these places where you get to make your own schedule. And of course, there's OnlyFans linked down below. People would much rather work for themselves than work for someone else right now. Technically, you're working for someone with these other jobs, but you also get the ability to make your own schedule, which is nice. And it makes tons of sense. One of my chefs quit on me not too long ago and said, hey, I want to do DoorDash, Instacart, because I'll be able to spend more time with my son. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. In fact, I was a little bit jealous, and I was like, you know what, that's a smart move. You'll be making your own schedule. You get to work whenever you feel like working, as long as your bills are paid. Why not? And I told him, I was like, you know, it's not about what I want, it's about what you need. So I told him I support it fully, and luckily he was able to stay on the days that I was off, and that helped out tremendously. So the main question is it worth being a chef in 2023? I need to point out, if you have always wanted to be a chef, don't take a job that's gonna hurt you financially. You know what I mean? Like, say you've always wanted to be a chef, but you never knew how to get in. All you have to do is apply, really. That's all you have to do. And regardless of experience. But do not take a job that's gonna hurt you financially. Say you're making good money at this job, but you've always wanted to be a chef or a pastry chef or a bartender, but you're like, I'm gonna take a pay cut. You have to weigh out, will you be able to pay your bills? That's the most important thing. Okay, so with today's climate, it seems like every restaurant is hiring right now, right? Isn't it insane? That's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit my job. I'll take a pay cut. I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. I'll be fine. So restaurants now, they're hiring everything: servers, managers, cooks, dishwashers, anything. And it's insane because you think back, you know, 2 or 3 years ago before the pandemic, and it's like no one was hiring. You know, everyone was working these same jobs, making less money. There are tons of restaurants out there in the world that need someone for something. Most, however, will already have a head chef because the owner's like, hey, you know what? We are losing our other staff, but I'm going to keep you on and I'm going to pay you more. So let's find more people to help you out. That makes sense? However, they are the ones that need the most help. I was the head chef at the sushi restaurant I worked at, and it was summertime and I had 4 people on my staff, which is severely understaffed. You might be from a town where you have a sushi bar that only has 1 or 2 people, but we were on the beach and it was a summer seasonal restaurant and we were getting our cheeks clapped every night. I would be there from 8 a.m. till about 10 p.m. every single day. Granted, I did have my 2 days off, but every time I was off and I would come back to no prep, and I understand because they're busy and they can't prep it like I can, so it's anyways. So there are tons of places that are hiring, and say you've always wanted to be a chef or you always wanted to work in a kitchen, now is the perfect time to go in to apply. If you're inexperienced but the thought of a full rail, high volume, super high stress environment excites you, right now is the absolute best time to get in. Here's why. Right now, most likely they're severely understaffed and they are willing to train you to do what they need you to do. And you'll be able to get more hours since there's not enough people. And one thing to remember is you're helping them right now. If you get in right now when they're in the weeds and when they're struggling, they're gonna remember that. Now, most of the times they'll remember that. They will keep you on even if it's during the slow period, remembering when you stepped in and what you did to help and what you brought to the table. So there's a lot of people in the industry that are quitting right now due to high hours and high stress and not enough help. That was the main thing. That was my issue. That's why I quit. I didn't have enough help, and the owner kept saying, yeah, we'll bring in 3 guys, we'll bring in 2 guys, ever since February. But that's neither here nor there. This is the chance to go out and prove yourself that you can hang in the weeds. So right now, you guys, I can't emphasize and tell you that right now is a better time to become a chef or to get your foot in the door, even if you're inexperienced. You have a higher chance of getting a prep cook or a line cook job just because we're severely understaffed right now. The main key is you're moldable. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean I'm moldable? If I were to go into a restaurant that was already operating and running versus a younger guy, they would probably want the younger guy because they could teach them their style. Whereas I'm gonna go in with my experience and they're gonna think, oh, this guy's very experienced, so he's gonna come in and try to change things. So to summarize, right now is the best time to get your foot into the door of the restaurant that you've always wanted to work at the position that you've always wanted to try out, working those stressful nights that you always thought you could hang with. Even if you're inexperienced, just go apply, just try, challenge yourself. And remember, whatever position you start at will not be the position you end at. No? It's pretty good, huh? Even if it is, here's my thing that I've always told my guys and things that I've done. I always said, work for 3 weeks in that position that you're doing. 3 weeks. If by then you think you've mastered that position, ask the head chef, hey, I would love to get more responsibility. I would love to help and learn other things. If there's any way I could cross-train another section, what are the chances of me doing that? If they say they don't want you moving, if they don't want you to move up, that might be a toxic kitchen. Even if you leave, you can leave with saying, oh, I had a month of experience working at this place. So I've been in this industry for 17 years. When I was 15, maybe younger, my parents opened a restaurant downtown in my city and I was busting tables, taking orders, and like making myself lunch, learning how to cook. But I washed dishes at a Chinese restaurant buffet. I waited tables at a Japanese buffet. I trained pantry, which is pretty much your appetizer station, and tempura. So I took the time to learn a lot of different things to get me where I am today. Times are changing, but it's important to know if you want to become a real chef, it's gonna take a long time to get to the top. You cannot, this isn't a game where you can just put in the cheat codes and make your way to the top in 10 hours. You can't complete the game in like 30 hours, Elden Ring players. And if you ever make it to head chef, don't ever think that you're just ready to open up your own restaurant. It's not how it works. Like I said, I've been in the game for 17 years and I just now feel confident to do my own thing, which I plan to do so, and that'll be another video in the future. But take your time, respect those who are training you because they have way more experience than you do. So remember, get in there, apply, That's all it takes in an application. Once you get the job, give it 110%. That's my mantra. I should get it tattooed somewhere. Once you get that job and you're training, remember to write everything down and taste everything. So those are my tips if you guys are considering becoming a chef in the future. And it's scary because there are times where I think maybe this is a dying breed, you know? Maybe people just want to DoorDash and fast food. So, go apply. Become a chef. Feed people. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. And I know it's been a long time since I made videos, but I want to start doing it again. I haven't been doing TikTok, haven't been on Instagram, barely on Facebook, and definitely not on YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something, if maybe inspired you to do something. If not, maybe I'll get you on the next video. I hope you guys have a great day. I really do. All right, bye.